Hey everybody, it's Missy again. Thanks for joining me today. I'm so excited to be the guest designer at Pinkfresh Studio this month, and I have two projects that I created using the Live More collection, and this is the first layout that I created. And I'm so excited because I was sent this beautiful collection. I got all the pattern papers, this 6x6 paper pad, and all the fun embellishments, and it's a very, very pretty collection. I love the color scheme. It's very different, especially for me. It's got that orangey red color, it's got that yellowy green color, some pretty aquas, some pinks, and it's very fun, playful, lots of big graphic designs. So I pulled this really pretty paper to use as my first background. It reminds me of marble. And I went ahead and did a little bit of work before I started filming, and I went through my files that I have from the cut shop, and I pulled this one. I've had it for quite a while, and of course the name of it is escaping my mind at this moment. I knew it yesterday and I've already forgotten it. I'll put the name of that cut file down below, but it's one of Ashley's older ones, and I love the whole pie chart look. And so what I did was I cut it on a 12 by 12 sheet of white cardstock, and I'm going to use lots of bits and pieces from the 6x6 paper pad and some of the 12 by 12s to back a lot of these circles. I'm not going to use the entire thing. I'm going to kind of run it off the page, but I knew that I wanted to use all of these patterns in this collection, a lot of them in small doses, and I think the best way to do that for me is to back a cut file like this. And this is very easy. It just takes some time, and I decided to just pick a circle and pick a paper and start backing it, and I'm just adding some glue, sticking it down, and then cutting around it. And there's a couple ways you could do this. This is the just glue it down way. You could also trace the circle onto the paper, cut it out like I'm going to do here, I think, and then just glue it down. So it just depends. I mean, there's no right or wrong way to do this. It's simple cutting and gluing of paper. And the fun part for me is going through all of the papers and deciding which piece of which paper I want to put where. And this is a great way to get lots of color, lots of pattern on your paper without using the entire sheet or even, you know, a quarter of a sheet. It's just little bits and pieces. If you have a lot of scraps laying around, this is a great thing to do. So I don't make you watch me do this entire background. It does take some time, but there we go. I'm gonna not do what's left over on the left because I'm gonna run it off the page like you see here. And so I've got it all finished. I love how that looks. And I want to do some mixed media on my background. So I'm going to use some white gesso, and I was going to use a card this time to scrape it, but I could not find it. So I'm just going to use my hand. I use my fingers a lot to smudge gesso and things, and going to do it again. Now, I didn't add a thick coat of it, so you can still see all that pretty marble work. I'm going to use this picture. It's a very light picture of my daughter in the pool. It's pretty close up, and there's a little bit of the aqua color over to the right, and then she's got some of that reddish orange color in the straps of her swimsuit. So I thought it would be a really pretty picture to use to complement all the pictures. Ugh, all the pictures. What is wrong with me today? All of the colors in the picture. I still have a head cold. A week later, I think that's what's wrong with me. I still can't think clearly. It will not go away. It's driving me crazy. Anyway, this is something I do quite frequently. This is not breaking news for me by any means. Using the packaging technique and lots of shimmers, and I'm going to combine it with some of the creamies and inklings here in varying shades of blues and aquas and greens. I'm going to just drip some onto the paper, use the packaging, use the brush. I'm just trying to get a lot of color on the background because a lot of this is going to be covered up, and you're just going to see it peeking through all the open spots on the cut file, and then it's going to peek around the photo once I have it down. And you're still going to be able to see a lot of that marble from that background paper. That color wound up being a little too dark for what I envisioned, but that's okay. A lot of this is just playing around with color and, you know, just trying to get it down. I love that bright green color. It's called Let Us Get Together. and it's a creamy, such a pretty green. And it looks really pretty mixed with these aquas and light green colors. I'm going to spray it down. I'm going to use the brush, just keep working at it, and you can see how I've actually got a lot of liquid going on this paper. And if you've ever worked with the Pinkfresh Studio pattern papers before, then you know that they are very thick. They're very thick papers, which makes it great for doing things like this on, but I still wanted to use the gesso just to toughen it up a little bit, prime the paper, and give it a border, there I go again, a barrier for all of that liquid. And so you can see how much I've got on there. And you can see how it's going to be covered up, but yet you're still going to be able to see a lot of it. So I just decided to try and add a couple of different shades here. So I brought in some gelatos. You couldn't really tell a big difference, so I don't really spend a lot of time doing that. I do spend quite a bit of time cutting some foam here and sticking it to this cut file. This did take a while, but I wanted to raise it up and give it some dimension. Yeah, I used red and brown, two very not pretty colors for this, but you can't see it, so it doesn't matter. So there you go. You can instantly see the dimension that that gives and the shadow that is created when you add that adhesive foam. And now, before I glue it down, I'm going to add in some thread. And I want this to be just subtle texture, and so I'm using the same color pretty much that I have in the background. It's a light minty aqua color, and you can't even really see it on camera, but in person you can see that bit of texture peeking through those open spots. And I love these circles. Circles are always fun. And I love how that striped circle over there in the middle on the right just sort of fits right into the open negative space or white space of the picture, and so it tucks in there just perfectly. And I love how that looks, because usually I'll put the picture on top of everything and then tuck things underneath it, but in this case I'm going to tuck the picture under the cut file. So I'm going to add a little bit of tissue paper just to give it a little bit of a border. And then I'm going to tuck it under, and you can see how that curve of that circle fits right in there, the curve of where her head and her neck are. Perfect, perfect. I couldn't have planned that, again, if I tried. Just happened to work out. So now I'm going to come in and work on some layering. Added a little bit of a yellow piece of paper behind the picture, and now I'm going to play around with the embellishments. There are so many fun embellishments. There are lots of chipboard pieces. There are puffy stickers, die cuts, metal clips, lots of fun things. And it was hard to pick and choose because almost every sticker that had words on it went with what my page is. You know, it's just about her being cute, and you could take that in so many different directions. And so I decided to use this little piece that says "Head Up Gorgeous" just because I thought that was cute. It's a close-up shot of her head, and she's always gorgeous because she's my baby. Everyone's babies are gorgeous, and so I thought that would be cute. And to make it pop a little bit, since it's very white and light, I added some thread under there. I'm going to go ahead and trim off the excess here because that's running off the page. And I'm going to save that because I could use that as layering behind something else. And I like how, you know, I tend to do this a lot with pool pictures, and I feel like a broken record. I say this a lot, but I like to add a lot of blue watercolor to my pool or beachy layouts just because it reminds me of the water splashing. It looks like she's kind of coming out of the water, and now, you know, there's water in the picture, but there's also water behind her, so it just sort of looks like she's crawling out of the pool. And I am going to come in with one of those little metal clips over there on the right. And then these are the die cuts, several different kinds of die cuts here. I'm going to use the one on the left that I've got over there that says Little Delights, and then that orangey red arrow. And I'm just going to work on layering things in. I don't want to put too much over on the right because that cut file is pretty busy, and you know, it takes up a lot of the page, and I don't want to cover up a lot of that because it's pretty as is. But I am going to come in with a couple of stickers and things and add those underneath the picture. The puffy stickers are so cute, and they are really puffy and squishy. They feel like they almost have like a little piece of a sponge in them. There's so many fun, you know, motivational sayings and things about love, and just so many different, in general, type of phrases and things on these little stickers over here on the right. Like I said, it was hard to pick and choose which ones I wanted to use because they all said what I wanted to say. I'm going to start to add a little bit more thread over there, glue everything down. Sometimes I like to make sure that things are going to stick when I've got gesso and watercolor in the background, because stickers and things like that tend to not want to stick very well, so I always want to add a little bit more glue to those. Make sure that's glued down. It wanted to curve up on me there. Now I'm going to come in with my T-square ruler, add some lines, and then the last thing I'm going to do is add a little bit of journaling, and I do add some splatters, I believe. Maybe I do, maybe I don't remember. Maybe I'm thinking of another layout. We'll see when we get to the final picture. Yep, I did. I knew I did. I'm going crazy. But yes, I did. Anyway, there's the final page. I really love how this turned out. I think the colors are just awesome, and this was such a fun collection to work with. It really, you know, it challenged me to use different colors in a different way, and I just love how it turned out. So let me know if you have any questions about anything that I did or any of these products. Stay tuned for my next guest design layout, which will be coming up soon. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Have a great day.